Welcome back to SWYT. Today we're going to be looking at theories from Reddit, which is basically when I've already got 3 theories that I want to read to you guys, and we're just going to go through them one by one. The first one's about Boba Fett, then it's like the second one's about Palpatine, which is the title, and then the third one's about a Baby Yoda theory. So they're all quite interesting, so hopefully you'd stick around to watch them all. But now we're just going to begin with the first one. Why we never see original trilogy Boba Fett's face, and it's posted by Greedo IA Grebo. I'm going to have to copy and paste that. So it says, besides the release dates, of course, probably being brought up before, but I just had this thought while watching the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars series, we see Boba Fett's face a few times. Is it because when the clones were phased out, he had to make sure to hide his face to not be mistaken for an old clone trooper? Thoughts? At first I didn't quite get it, but what it's basically suggesting is, in the Clone Wars we see his face, but in the original trilogy we don't, because maybe the clones, I don't know, maybe they're on a wanted list or something and they get killed if anyone sees a clone, so he had to hide his face by wearing a mask. But people would still know that anyway, because he's Boba Fett and he's not that old. Like, people would still know who he is. Not to mention he's also like a pretty famous bounty hunter, isn't he? Like, he's always with Jabba the Hutt, isn't he? So this one's more of a discussion than a theory, more sort of a question. So we'll have a look at what some other people say. So TZG said Vader would recognize his voice and Bosk has seen his face and knows who he is. Also, his last name is Fett. People who knew the clone template was Jango would immediately have an idea of who he is. So I guess there's actually no reason to not see his face other than because he's a cool character. Some other comments say, yeah, but most stormtroopers probably don't know the clone's origin and the Fetts, so they could shoot him or, I don't know, capture him. I don't remember what the protocol was when a old clone trooper was seen. Maybe, but I don't think any people will thought him as a clone trooper because he's very young, then Rex Cody, etc. Not very good English, but by Baby Yoda, so you're a child. Someone commented, because this is the way. I know that's a joke, but it could actually be that. Someone else said, that's what I'm thinking. The original trilogy happens after the Mandalorian purge, I'm pretty sure. So it would make sense for Boba to be following the same code that the Mandalorian did, but I don't know as much about the new canon. I feel like it's just strictly down to there was no reason to see his face, is there really? Do you know what I mean? Like, we see Jango's face because he's at home and he's comfortable, which makes absolute sense, and also because he's trying to hide the fact that he's the person that Obi-Wan's looking for. So if you think about it, it kind of makes sense that you don't see his face. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's because people getting mistaken with a clone trooper, because at the end of the day, the clone troopers would have all been really old by then, and obviously he was ungenetically modified, so he just ages normally. So 100% it's just down to not needing to see his face. Palpatine won in Rise of Skywalker. Now this one caught my eye because I was sort of thinking about a similar theory, although my one was how he got killed by Rey, so why didn't he possess Rey? Stroke him down? That sounds weird. If Rey was to strike him down, he would then possess her like you said, but obviously because he died from his electricity, to me, I don't know, to me it's just kind of a grey area, but let's read this. So Palpatine won in Rise of Skywalker. So as we all know, nearing the end of Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine wanted Rey to strike him down, which she refused, then yada yada yada. Palpatine gets his power from Rey and Kylo's Force bond. Then Rey kills him by deflecting his Force lightning. The reasons I believe Palpatine wanted this to happen is, number 1, no way he gets killed the same way he almost died to Mace Windu by getting his Force lightning deflected at him again. He could just stop shooting it. I mean, yeah, he could just stop shooting it. 2, think about this, Palpatine was able to put dreams in Anakin's mind and make voices in Kylo's head. So hear me out. So the voices of Jedi that Rey hears is his doing to make her kill Palpatine, which is a smart move. Also, this can mean that Jedi like Ahsoka aren't dead just because their voice was in Rey's head. Number 3, Palpatine could have killed Rey if he wanted to, let's be real here. When Rey was on the floor getting Jedi voices in her head, caused by Palpatine, if Palpatine actually wanted her to be dead, he could have just sensed that she was still alive and then zapped her to death. So Palpatine's spirit is probably in Rey right now, waiting for the perfect time to strike. This is exactly what I was thinking. But he's worded it so much better. I'm so glad. They're not long enough to make individual videos on, so that's why I'm sort of doing like 3 theories per video. Now let's just quickly skim through some of the comments. No, it was just kind of lazy writing. True, but there's possibility for them to turn this around. Comrade Thanos. I'm pretty sure I featured this person in a video before. Actually, I'm pretty sure Palpatine did stop shooting just before his death. Lightning stopped coming out of his hands, yet continued to reflect from Rey's lightsaber. So something else was going on that killed him. Ooh, that's interesting. He didn't finish himself off, though he obviously began the damage. I never really looked into it that deep. Maybe the lightsabers absorbed the lightning as well as reflecting it. I don't know, hard to guess. Disney made Star Wars weird. Not bad, just weird. In Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan's lightsaber catches and absorbs Dooku's lightning. Maybe the Kyber is a way of storing dark energy. Someone else commented, agreed, this sounds quite logical. Also, Palpatine is an excellent lightsaber duelist. Just check out the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series when he fights Maul and his brothers. He is extremely fast and skilled. He could have probably easily won the fight with Rey, but he went for the dark spirit transfer instead. Or alternatively, it's just lazy storytelling. Yeah, it would have been way cooler after he got his power back. He fought Rey with a lightsaber. It would have turned Rise of Skywalker to a 10 out of 10. If it was fast-paced epic soundtrack duel, which is something Disney couldn't do, but still would have been cool to see. And no one can say, oh, he doesn't have a lightsaber. There's no excuse for Palpatine to not have a lightsaber, considering he made thousands of Star Destroyers. Yeah, true. And that is canon that Sith can turn small rocks into red kyber crystals, so no way he doesn't have a lightsaber. I mean, I don't think he'd really need one if he's sitting on that machine thing. 100%, it seems to me like the guy is a dark mastermind. He definitely, like, no matter how he died, he would have just went into Rey's sort of spirit thing. So I guarantee, or okay, maybe not guarantee, I'm pretty sure that when he was hitting her with the lightning and then she deflected it and then he died, he was just like, I don't know, his spirit's somewhere, whether it's in Rey or we know it's somewhere. Like, the guy is 120 odd years old, like he knows how to cheat death. There's definitely something, you know, we'll find out in future films and stuff, but there's definitely something not right. The ending was just left too open. Third and final one, which actually kind of inspired me to make this video, but the Palpatine one I think was probably the best, is Yoda species theory. I think maybe Yoda species eat their own young, which explains why there's so few of them and why Baby Yoda is alone. Just imagine Yoda eating Baby Yoda the way Baby Yoda ate the frog thing. Like, the adult Yodas have an irresistible urge to eat their young, so maybe the adult Yodas lay eggs somewhere and the Baby Yodas run away after hatching, or they'll get eaten. Then they rely on being raised by other species, which is why they have evolved to be small and cute. Also, maybe if they have siblings and the Baby Yodas fight and eat each other, which also explains why there's so few of them. I mean, the fact that the Baby Yoda swallowed that frog like that is evidence of somewhat, you know, suggesting that they do actually eat their young. I mean, that's kind of sadistic and messed up. Okay, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, but also, I mean, I couldn't imagine Yoda eating a Baby Yoda. Surely they're quite intelligent, they would know not to do that, but let's see what some of the comments say. Like, imagine if Baby Yoda happened to be brought to the Jedi Temple and Yoda saw it in his eyes and glazed as he began foaming from the mouth and started screaming, yum, yum, and chased the Baby Yoda, and the Baby Yoda would instinctively run away. So then there's just Yoda chasing a Baby Yoda around the Jedi Temple screaming, yum, yum, and loudly. Then Mace Windu has to drop kick Yoda and they have to restrain him and keep the Baby Yoda away until he's older. Wow, this is just turned into a joke. So someone got it, bro, haha. This is canon as far as I'm concerned. The image of Phantom Menace puppet Yoda running around yelling yum yum and giggling like Dagobah puppet Yoda, while Samuel L. Jackson and Ewan McGregor have to chase him in front of the green screen is about the funniest I've imagined in a long time. What are you on? I'd like some too. Then he replied, ketamine. Wow. Your point about Yoda species being small and cute is an evolutionary advantage is interesting. Maybe they have some sort of parasites that absorb the life force of unassuming caregiver. Kind of making Yoda sound a bit sadistical. I imagine Yoda wants to eat Baby Yaddle. It reminds me of the reptilian race. And that is it for today's theory videos. If you did leave a like. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. And if you enjoyed it, subscribe. There should be another video coming out tomorrow, but it won't be anything too fancy. It's just sort of conversation gameplay. So thank you for watching if you came this far, and see you in the next one.